I built an insane GoHighLevel website section that will blow your mind, as you can see in this demo right here. Basically, we have this nice rotating apple, and below that we have a small story that's being told while the user scrolls the website. So the first part we've covered in a previous episode, and today we are gonna cover this cool looking effect that changes basically the sentence effects within a text block, as you can see right here, obviously as the user scrolls down. A very cool looking effect that helps tremendously with storytelling on your website. And why would you want storytelling on your website? Maybe you want to emphasize the brand journey, the product evolution, or even the user's transformation. If you have like a SaaS website or something, storytelling helps a lot when you actually want to sell that software, right? So let's go inside the GoHighLevel website builder and start creating this cool looking effect. As I said, the apple is part of another tutorial, part of another video that I already made, so there's no point in going through the code for this effect. So let's focus on today's effect. All you need is just to have a few sections. Let's say we have this initial section, which is quite big, with a menu, with a video, and below that we have another section. If we click on it, as you can see, I added a padding of 500 pixels. This is just so we can actually scroll something, right? It doesn't matter, just add your content or add some padding bottom here so you can actually scroll. And inside that section, all you need is just a custom HTML and JavaScript element. And I'm also gonna show you the actual code by clicking on Open Code Editor. As you can see, we have two parts. The first part is the HTML, and you might ask, why don't we use the normal text from GoHighLevel? Well, if you do that, it works, but you can't achieve this effect, right? When we have different, sentences on the same line. It's a bit more complex, and this is the easiest way. If you use the normal GoHighLevel text, you'll get like these lines and then these lines and these lines and so on. You can't change the effect mid element, so to say. That's why I added a custom HTML. And as you can see, we have different classes: text1, text2, text3, and text4. But of course, you can add as many as you want, and I added them in this tag, strong tag. Basically, everything is bolded, and every bold section has a class. And below that, we have the JavaScript code. I'll go slowly so you can pause the video and copy the exact code. Or if you already have my Notion doc, which is this one right here, you can get a code from this tutorial right here. Sentence effect change on scroll. I just added this effect for this video, so it's live in the Notion doc right now. And of course, the video scrubbing thing, with the apple, is this tutorial right here. If you're curious, video scrubbing effect on scroll. And of course, if you don't have my Notion doc and you want to get it, there is a link in the description. But if you don't want to get it, there is no problem. You can also pause the video and copy exactly what you see on the screen. So this is the JavaScript, as I said. Make sure you add the classes text1, text2, text3, and text4 in the HTML here. And here, very important, we have two very important variables. The first one is the start scroll, which is set to 300. This is the variable that controls when the effect starts, right? So right here, basically we scrolled 300 pixels. So after we scroll 300 pixels, then the effect kicks in, right? It's this one right here, 300 pixels. This is the start scroll. If you make it 700, then you would need to scroll 700 pixels in order for the effect to kick in and start, animating. And the step is basically how many pixels you have to scroll between each sentence. So we scroll 300 pixels, as you can see, the effect kicks in, and then we have to scroll another 300 pixels for the next sentence, to kick in, to be active. And then another 300 and another 300, and of course if we scroll another 300, then the effect will be over. So those are the two variables that you need to work with. Other than that, that's perfectly fine. You don't need anything else. HTML, JavaScript, click save. And of course, we also have some CSS. This here is the CSS for the text, so that it kind of looks like a normal GoHighLevel text, default text. We just added the font family, text align, color, font weight, and font size, everything that you need with 80%, so it matches, the row element and so on. Of course, you can play around with everything. And very important, when the sentence is not active, as you can see, it's not gray, it's actually white, but it has an opacity of 0.2. And when the text active class is set on either of these texts, then we change the opacity to 1. And we also have a transition, right? So it looks a bit better. So we have like a fade in and fade out effect when it comes to changing opacity, as you can see right here, right? It's not that steep when it changes the opacity. So here we have opacity 1 and then opacity 0.2, and then the next one, it has opacity 1 and now opacity 0.2, and so on. You need this code, which again you'll find in this tutorial right here in the Notion doc. Now, of course, if you are more curious and impressed by the video scrubbing effect, with the Apple video, then you can check out the code here in this tutorial, or you can watch this video.